Okay, I need to do this backwards.
Come. Come.
Slowly.
Slowly, come.
Hi guys, we are in LUXOR. Part 5 and end of this series. Watch till the end. You can also check out Part 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's the last day of our tour. From the hotel to our next stop, it took 35 minutes by car. Cross the Nile River again through Luxor Bridge to go to the West Bank. On the way there, we saw the countryside and more of the neighborhoods. All tickets ready for today's tour. Ate Margaret was the money and ticket keeper. First stop, Medinet Habu Temple. Entrance is 100 Egyptian pounds per person. Sabah al-Khair is good morning in Arabic, and Sabah al-Nur is the response. Look at the birds of the air. This mortuary temple of Ramses III is known for its size and artistic importance.
This gate is very unique one, different from that of Karnak al-Luxor, because it's still in a very good state for preservation, and it still has some graffiti representing the enemies.
Also, this was the temple we have seen from top in the hot air balloon. Today we are at Medinet Habu Temple. You can see it is so different from the other temples we visited. You can see the different types of reliefs and carvings in the wall, which we will show you later. This temple contains more than 7,000 square meters of decorated wall reliefs. The reason we wanted to visit Luxor was mainly for the interesting history of art and architecture and not the religion side. All these colossal columns portray Ramses III. At the very end is this hypostyle hall, similar to the Karnak and Luxor temples we visited in Part 2. After all that walking, one will definitely get thirsty. Good thing there's this cute little place nearby. It had this Moroccan charm which reminded me of beautiful Marrakesh. This photo was from 2015. A nice tea break as it will be a long day. Next stop, Valley of the Servants. In part 1, we explored Valley of the Kings. This time we'll go to the Valley of the Servants, also known as Deir El-Medina. It's an ancient Egyptian workmen's village, home to the artisans who worked in the tombs of the Valley of the Kings. Entrance for 3 tombs is 100 Egyptian pounds per person. First tomb, Tomb of Anherka. So we're going inside the tomb. And it's very small. The staircase here is much smaller and steeper than in Valley of the Kings. Watch your head. You need a helmet here.
What's your head?
Each tomb has a guide inside. They usually expect a tip, so prepare extra change.
Look here, the Gator. This is here, this Anubis. This Oras. Look here.
Yes, yes.
This is lion. This is here, Cobra, snake. This music, the harp, Feluca. This is here, this Osiris, this is wife, this son, lion. The here. This lotus.
So we're inside the Tomb of the Servants, and it's very low ceiling. As you can see, the very tall Margaret
I'm a giant, I can touch it.
can touch the ceiling. And they have really preserved these paintings, huh?
Yes, the art.
Amazing. Going back up. Watch your heads.
What's your head? What's your head? What's your head?
Shukran. See how low? Oh, wait. Let's try selfie view. Okay. See? So there's an advantage to being short because you really won't make too much effort. Watch your head and bend. Pero hingal na hingal. Oxygen. Hey, there's oxygen. Second tomb, Tomb of Senutem. Believe me, it was more difficult going down when you're documenting. But since I want you to see what we saw like you're there with us, Mafi Mushkila, which means no problem in Arabic.
This is Dr. Lamomi's hand, and he said here, wine, lotus, and the papyrus, chef up Osiris, look, and the Horus, Garden Osiris. Here is work Lamomi. His work Lamomi is bidden as far outside. Here is finished Lamomi condition, and the here Isis and Neftis and the family.
Shukran, yes.
Afwan Egyptian.
Shukran is thank you in Arabic and Afwan is you're welcome. I'll just show you how big the entryway is. See, it's almost like this. So you really need to bend. We're going to the last tomb. We didn't get the name though, which we'll discover later that it was a 3-in-1 tomb.
Here, tomb Khamtiri. Khamtiri and the family. Khamtiri, come here. Khamtiri will drink his water. Hatur.
Watch the giant walk through.
Backwards?
Yes. Beautiful accessories.
Oh,
Oh God.
okay. I need to do this backwards.
Come. Come.
Slowly, slowly.
Slowly, come.
Let's take a photo.
Come here. Here, has got the star, Amun, Necht, and the foreign same as God. Here on the Nile, and Nile is work, is the color of the life.
Amazing.
These mysterious walls have tons of stories for sure. It was also fascinating to see the colors were still so vibrant after so many years. This is how big the opening is. It's the lowest, right?
Yes,
Of the
this
three.
was difficult.
It's hard to have a camera while going down.
Here, very nice. Name Isis Juhuti. The head is the boy.
This one.
This way, this way.
No, what
شكرا.
خلي بالك وين.
يلا.
يلا يلا. Watch your head inside. Watch your head. خلي بالك wait.
It's really easier to go up.
Watch your head.
Yeah, it's easier.
لا here is big.
Easier.
Normal.
No effort. It was super nice to breathe fresh air again outside. Unique experience underground, but not advisable for claustrophobics. Next is Remycium Temple. Entrance is 80 Egyptian pounds per person. Ramesseum is the memorial temple of Ramses II or Ramses the Great. It was a beautiful day for the explorers. A giant fallen statue at the entrance.
Wow.
See how big?
Amazing.
The walls were decorated with the pharaoh's military victories and kinship with the gods they believed in.
The war, the symbol for energy. And in the middle we have King Ramesses II, and he's been blessed by God Amun-Ra, and even God Sekhmet is still blessing him. This is very famous scene, you find it on Papyrus Rules.
We'll have a side trip to a Papyrus Shop later in this video. We're here in Ramses Temple, and one of the good things about traveling during this time is there's not much tourists. You can have the place all to yourself, see? And you can spend time like taking photos and videos. Right, Margaret?
Yes, very true.
So there.
You can take your mask off when you take a nice photo.
Since the place was empty and no photo bombers, we were able to do some commercials.
Stuck on you. I got this feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't lose. Guess I'm on my way. Stuck on you. I got this feeling down deep in
Just
my
for
soul
fun,
that
now
I
back
just
to normal
can't
programming.
No, these ones are not scared. Ready?
Yes.
Anything for a good shot. Sorry, birds. So we're going. This is the last temple we're visiting. Side trip 1, Colosseum of Memnon with 2 giant statues of Amenhotep III.
Oh yeah, they're very big.
Side trip 2, the Orff Palace, which we saw from our felucca ride. Back to the hotel so we can rest. Okay, so this is our room in Steinberger. I forgot to include this video of our hotel room in part 3. Let's just have a quick look, shall we? And suddenly,
There's a stalker on the balcony.
after catching the stalker, let's continue to the balcony.
We can see the Nile.
After some rest, dinner at Winter Palace Hotel. It was inaugurated in 1907 and was hospice to soldiers during World War I. The famous author Agatha Christie wrote her book Death on the Nile while staying at the hotel. A little spooky, but we still thought the rich colonial interiors were lovely, since it was part of the history of art and architecture which we studied back in the university. Time for dinner! Their lentil soup and bread were yummy. Cheers to brave and strong women. Last stop, Papyrus Shop. Papyrus is a material similar to thick paper used in ancient times as a writing surface. It was made from the pith of the papyrus plant. Here he's showing how they make the papyrus paper from the plant. They have a lot of artworks available. The next day, time to go back to Cairo and back to work. A treat before we left, this band playing local music was outside. Of course, I needed to try it. You guys were great. Number 1. We're on our way to the airport. It takes 20 minutes.
Yes, from our hotel. This is for you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Shukran. Very good driver.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to our tour guide Laila and our driver. We really had a safe and amazing time. If you want to visit, check out our tour guide's number in the description. The flight we took going back to Cairo was the 1:45 p.m. flight with Egypt Air this time. While waiting for our flight. Margaret, how was your trip in Luxor?
I loved it. It was amazing.
What do you like about this trip?
The balloon ride, that was the highlights of the trip.
Would you recommend this to your friends?
Definitely. I told them all to come already. So hopefully next year.
We're still at the airport waiting for our flight back to Cairo. 3 nights and 4 days we had in Luxor. It was really an amazing experience. If you're visiting Egypt, it's a must-see place here. So you can spend a few days in Cairo and then spend more days in Luxor because there's a lot of historical places here. The weather is really nice and less crowded, less pollution, and there's a lot of greeneries, a lot of nature, so you'd really love it. Luxor number 1. After an hour,
We made it.
super tired. Good job, Egypt Air.
Yes. Very good.
Thank you for watching, and until the next travel. A special thank you to my adventurous and patient travel buddy, accountant, and photographer in this trip, my Polish/Australian colleague and good friend Margaret. Next time we'll have our future boyfriends with us, okay? Kalas!